Good news for Rivian that we have reported thanks to their CEO talking to the press recently. We're hearing that the original prices that the Rivian was supposed to start at are actually going to be a little bit lower than what we've previously reported on, which I'm rooting for them. I'm happy for Rivian. I want them to succeed. I really don't want just the Cybertruck to destroy all competitors, and I like what they're doing, but try to just be a little bit more upfront with the pricing. I feel like would help. Not just talking speculatively, like at least give us a price target, you know? I'm glad Tesla does that. They don't always reach those targets, but I think it's much more helpful to at least give your investors and people that are reserving your vehicle an idea of what it's going to cost. Even if you can't necessarily hit that, just give a rough estimate, highball it a little bit. But what they're saying is that original $69,000 price that we've been running with for many, many months and potentially years now was actually for a mid-range, well-spec'd vehicle along with a glass top roof. So apparently there's going to be lots of different configurations and options of the R1T you'll be able to order, and that one was a decently spec'd one. So the good indicator means that the lower range Rivian with the 105 kilowatt hour battery pack and that lower 230 mile range, which for a pickup truck, again, not great, but good news is that one is likely going to be much cheaper by several $1,000s than that $69,000 price we originally thought the Rivian was going to start at. So that combined along with the federal tax credit that the Rivian should also be accompanying by, so well over $7,000 in tax credits with that lower starting price that, again, they don't want to really tell us how much cheaper the standard range option will be, other than just it'll be cheaper than 69 grand, means that Rivian has a much better shot of entering the market for some demographics, though keep in mind, Rivian has not changed on their original timeline that the more expensive versions, the 400 mile options, will be coming sooner, and then over time they will work their way down to the cheaper priced options. So I still think Cybertruck should make Rivian nervous. I don't take back what I said in that video, but just wanted to update you guys on some of the Rivian side of things. That price point should be a lot lower than what we were originally expecting, which is good. Cybertruck will not get that $7,000 tax credit that Rivian's gonna get, which could give them a little bit of an advantage. I still think it's a little bit of a cheat because it doesn't change the initial upfront cost of the vehicle, and a federal tax credit is not necessarily, you know, cash in hand. That's just money you don't have to pay to the government, but it's good that EV companies, especially startups like Rivian, can take advantage of that credit because it means that you can collect more from the actual initial consumer, and the consumer can actually offload some of that cost, but that'll be handled by the federal tax board, not so much on Rivian. And depending on what your income is or how you pay for the vehicle, that tax credit may not seem like that big of a help. But this is, at the end of the day, great news to know that electric vehicle pickup trucks are going to be somewhat more obtainable than what we originally thought. I love their design. I love the practicality of it. I love how functional they made the R1T and the R1S, which apparently is starting at around $72,000, but that could be the mid-spec one as well. I don't think these are going to sell as strength in numbers as Tesla's are, but there's got to be competition in this field. There's got to be other companies that are competing, and I really hope they can reach their delivery targets because I really want this company to succeed. So only suggestion that I mentioned at the beginning of this video is to be more upfront about the cost, because the biggest factors when it comes to switching to an electric vehicle that most consumers have, big ones to remember, is price and range. And if you nail those two things, then most people are going to put up with whatever weird design or whatever weird choices your vehicle has. If you iron those two things out, if you don't iron those two things out, it immediately turns away eyes from all types of people, no matter how good your design or no matter how practical it is. If the range sucks, people aren't going to be too interested in it, especially if it's at a high price. That's why the EV community kind of bullies the Taycan so much. Despite it being a very beautiful and very well-built car, that price point is super high and that range isn't great, so people aren't that interested unless they're diehard Porsche fanboys. So being upfront and just giving us a number, Rivian, that you're hoping to reach, or a number that you're anticipating the vehicle is going to cost at the lowest of the low, no glass roof, very low range, just the vehicle as it is, even if that range isn't very good, just telling us what you're aiming for would be super helpful and give people an idea of what electric pickup truck they would like to pursue. Let me know what you guys think of the R1T. Does this excite you about it? Are you now looking more forward to getting one and curious about that new price point? Feel free to let me know down below. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have an excellent day. Take care.